Welcome back to Crafted in Florida. Today we're talking wood filling. Here's the top 5 ways for you to fill those nail holes and cracks in the wood to make your finished product come out just right. Check it out. Alright, so we're going to jump right into this. We're going to start with our paint grade option. First product I've got, it's great for filling bigger holes and especially nail holes. And that's DAP's Dry Decks. This is more of a spackling. This will go on pink and dry white. So the dry indicator is a great feature because it allows you to know, hey, I can go ahead and sand and paint this, or I need to wait, especially if you're filling a little bit bigger of a hole. This really comes in handy to make sure that it is dry before you go and try to clean it up. Great for nail holes, easy cleanup. I definitely recommend you getting this if you're going to do a whole bunch of baseboard or crown molding or trimming out a house, because this won't shrink. So it's great for the nail holes. Number 2, your typical caulk. Now caulk is a must-have if you're doing trim work. While the spackling is great for the nail holes, you can't beat caulk's use running those long lines, caulking the baseboard to the wall or the crown molding to the wall. It gives it a much cleaner look. It goes on super smooth. Little trick, if you don't have one, these little caulk spreading tools are nice, especially if you get into weird gaps, weird spaces. But you don't have to have that. Get yourself a rag, get it wet. Get your finger a little wet on that rag. And as you spread that out with your finger, it won't stick as much to your finger if it's wet. And come back with that wet towel and just clean up all the excess. Caulk is a must-have if you're doing paint grade trim or anything like that. Board and batten is a popular project. Running that caulk through all those seams really gives it a much cleaner look when it comes time for the finishing. All right, our third product is plastic wood. Now this is technically a stain grade, at least it advertises as a stain grade. I've noticed, having used it before, that it doesn't blend as well as I hoped it would. The plastic wood, it does have that color of a wood color. I'm not as big of a fan when it comes to using it for an actual stain grade. I would use it if I'm painting. I'm going to paint over it, and I don't mind using this. Kind of treat it the same as I would spackling. It won't shrink, and it's going to give me that nice fill. But it's not a bad product. In a pinch, you can use it. But if you're doing fine furniture, I'd probably hold on. Next we have the Minwax High Performance Wood Filler. Now this is a 2-part piece. So you've got your can of the filler, and then you have an activator, which is going to harden it. So harden it. Take this out, get yourself a scrap piece of wood, put some of it on there, add your hardener, mix it up, and then you have a little bit of time to get that into place, and it will actually harden like wood and give you a much sturdier fill. So that's a great thing to use if you've got like maybe a gash in your wood or something bigger, maybe a knot. Using this will be a much more durable fill than your typical spackling type of stuff. That is obviously only going to get so hard, whereas this with the hardener gives you a little bit better strength in those spots. Finally, my favorite filler for small pieces in wood is just mix sawdust from the species of wood you're using with some glue. Throw some sawdust down, throw a bunch of glue in there, mix that up, fill in all your holes. Then you can come back and sand it, and it blends much better than the artificial stuff because it's the actual wood that you're using. So you get that actual wood dust. The glue will harden it up, gives it the right color, and it's going to stain much, much better. Now, it's not perfect. Anytime you're not using the actual wood If you really look, you're going to see the difference, but you're getting a much closer look using the actual saw. All right, so we're going to test these products. Got a piece of white oak here, going to drive in some nails, 2 nail holes for each product, and I drove in a screw just so we can see how it handled a little bit bigger of a hole. Spackling first, I overfill it because I want to be able to sand it smooth, and you kind of want to go with that approach for basically all of these products, because if you try to go perfectly smooth, then you will likely have some shrinkage when everything dries, no matter which product you use, and then you need to add some more. So better to overfill and sand to the surface. You can see the high performance here is a 2-part, so I've added the hardener, mixed it together, and I am filling in those holes. Same concept with the wood glue and sawdust, and then I like to throw a little extra sawdust on top after I've got the holes filled, just to kind of get that top layer. All right, so we've got these mainly dry here. I'm going to go ahead and sand them off. All right, so they all did the job. They filled nice and smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little paint on this, some stain on this, and let's see how they look. For the sake of speed, spray paint this, and I happen to have green, so I'm gonna use. All right, so that's it. You've got the 5 different wood fillers that you're going to be able to find in any big box store, or in this case, Save Your Sawdust. The spackling, love it for the nail holes. It did a good job, especially for paint. You can't even tell that there was nail holes there. The caulk, you do have a little bit of shrinkage, so I'm not a big fan of it for the nail holes, but it's great for filling lines when you're doing baseboard and other trim pieces. The plastic wood and the wood filler did a good job filling the holes. They, in my opinion, are not stained gray, because putting stain over the top of it, it is blatantly obvious that it is not real wood there, and it really doesn't absorb the stain and even give you the same color that you're looking for. If you're trying to do that, the sawdust with wood is going to be your closest to a true stain grade. Still not great for bigger holes, like the screw hole does not look that good. But if you're doing small little bug holes or nail holes, the sawdust with the glue is going to give you a better stained look. Sawdust and glue is also great if you're trying to fill a seam. Maybe you have a seam that moved a little bit. That glue will help obviously bond those pieces together, and the sawdust will give you that stained grade look. So all good options, different applications for different products. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you next time.